We want to talk about Igbos having fewer states. Does it affect power? Do you think it's intentional?
It is intentional. It's deliberate. In 1983, when Samu Mbakwe was the governor of Imo State, Obi Igbo was part of Imo State. Now, under what they call the Mama Nasa boundary adjustment, they started carving oil-rich, mineral-rich areas into some states where they will now tell them you are not Igbo. Immediately they moved Obi Igbo out of Imo State.
Yes.
What happened? They changed the name to Oyi Igbo. Mbakwe had to cry. Mbakwe said something. What the meaning of Obi Igbo is the heart of Igbo land. How can you now take it away? Do you know today the Igbo people that live in Benue and in Kogi State? Those people live in their ancestral land. Yeah, and when Benue was divided into two to carve out Kogi State, some of them fell under Kogi. That is why today you have Igbos in Kogi.
Yes,
and
there are
you
Igbos
you
in
have
Benue,
them in
yes.
Benue. The least developed part of Benue State is within that area that the Igbo people, those ancestral Igbo lands that in Benue State, that's the least developed. The government of the Benue will not develop it. They see them as nobody. So they were just carved out into that place to be treated as subhumans. They keep trying to make these people disown their Igbo identity. So we are like the goose that lays the golden eggs.
Ndị Igbo si na arụ gba arọ ọ bụrụ omenani. Exactly. When an abomination is consistently sustained, it becomes tradition. And that is why today you hear people will comfortably tell you that you don't understand Nigerian politics because the abnormality has stayed for long that we think is normal. We have established this fact that Ndi Igbo is not only in 5 states, but they are cut across 13 states in Nigeria. The 5 states is the center, you know. If you're a good mathematics student, there's what they call set. The main set, the subset, and all. A good mathematician will understand when something is divided, you know, just like the logo of Olympic, yes. That southeast, that's why it's in the center. Why it is completely, almost complete Igbos that are there is because it is in the center. But they cut other Igbo parts into other states to reduce the landmass of Ndi Igbo. If you look at this picture, it will show you the complete landmass, how Igbos have spread across the 13 states of Nigeria. Pause and read it. Then you begin to understand what we are talking about. But you see, there's a deliberate intention, just as the man said, to make sure they reduce the Igbo. It was Gowan who said it, that if the Biafra threatened to go, he will create what they call Igbo states. And if you are a good English student, you understand what they mean by a core. When they say the core of the earth, it means the center. So what they did is that they cut up the sides of Igbos and only retain the center to give them those 5 states. And this is why I want to correct what a woman is saying, that they give the Igbo few states. Giving the Igbo few states is not a problem. Giving the core Igbo states a few states, like the 5 southeastern states, is not a problem. If the Igbos have, assuming the entire Igbo land is meant to be only 5 states, is not a problem. The problem is that they deliberately give them lower landmass in the core Igbo state, and the larger part they cut off, there was a divide and rule system that was applied in those places to make those ones completely deny their Igbo-ness. If you listen keenly to what that man is saying, is that they are pushing agenda in Kogi and Benue for those ones to deny their Igbo-ness. There are 2 ways to decide why they are saying it. If you deny your Igbo, you will not be recognized and your place will be developed. Because as I'm talking to you, those areas are purely marginalized. They are the underdeveloped region of Kogi State and Benue State. I'm not going to lie for you. The government presence are not there, just like the bankers are crying today in Edo State that they don't have the government presence. So there are two things. They are being told to deny their Igbo-ness, that if they deny their Igbo-ness, government will recognize them. And then the presence of the government will come to them. They might be integrated to run for election. But the another side of it is that they're still telling them to deny their Igbo-ness so that the historical fact will transfer to the states, to the majority tribe in those areas. Over the time, you now start hearing it's not Igbo land again. Just like what we are seeing in Delta today. But the question is this: even those that are denying Igbo, what have they benefited? In the entire Anioma region, the most backward local governments are the Indokwa Ukwani region. The most backward. But as it is, those are the people who even deny the Igbo-ness more. You will see a person on social media, he will bring Ukwani this and I will tell you the difference between Ukwani and this. They are the most backward, even as they deny, because that is the intention. During the Civil War, why did the rivers start denying Igbo? As Liman said, part of it that it's for survival. Just like our normal people, there are some people who wanted to deny for survival. Yes, it's for survival. They want to deny their Igbo-ness so that the Nigerian government will not kill them. Two, the government also allowed them because they don't want to also kill them because they then get oil. You must understand the politics that play. The reason why even as you deny, they will not still kill you. But government still leave them, even as they deny, they did not still attack them because and I then get oil, make you treat them special so that they won't support their Igbo brothers and start fighting the Nigerian government. But despite the fact that those regions, like Ukwan now has 9 oil wells in Delta State, they are the real oil producing region in Delta State, Ukwan. Despite that, Ukwan is the most backward region in the other. So even your denial did not still make you benefit anything from them. It did not still make you benefit anything from the government. From the same government did not still make you benefit. And that's why it baffles me that despite the backwardness, no school in Okwani, some communities are there without no life for 20 years, no road in Okwani, no good hospital in Okwani. Now my region, they tell you, I know they say, if you are following me, you know Spirit Almighty, now from Okwani. If you are following me, you know Boyogu is from Okwani. If you are following me, you know Barrister Ofochi is from Okwani, Obiaruku precisely. If you are following me, you know King Slot. You know, there are so many Okwani that we are in this cause together. You know, sometimes I keep saying it that if your actions supporting like APC government or supporting the lies that Nigerian people are telling you is because you can look back and say, this is what I have benefited by saying I'm not an Igbo person. Delta North and Anioma as a role. If anybody can come and tell me, say, now because say we they deny say no people, that's why the Nigerian government favors with this. It will make sense. You will now begin to understand. But it's a shame that even we, some of us that are denying that don't people, the Southeasterners are developing more than us. As of today, no village in Anambra that does not have a good tide road. You know that villages in Anambra has plaza. What you see in town, what you see in Asaba, villages have plazas. I mean, plazas where they build 1, 2, 3-story building for shopping. Not the local market where they buy garri and tomato. Plazas for barbing, business center, in Anambra, typical villages. Men have stopped building 3 and 4-story building flat in the village now. They are now building, because to build flat for people to rent 4-story building, 3-story building, you must understand the kind of people that can be able to afford to pay that rent in your village. They're now building plaza for people to rent, standard shopping and business. But we, when they deny say we will not be Igbo, and we will be saying that we get the oil that the Delta State is using to Boga, can you say that in your village? Which, or even on Chubo that is claiming to be even the so-called Isheluku, how many plaza, which plaza you feel call for there? Isheluku will be headquarter of the local government. This is what we are talking about. Then you now talk of other villages. There are 25 villages in my local government. 25 in my local government and Northern, there are 25 villages. So if you name me, say, look, what happened to the remaining 24? It not done on you what we are talking about. But I'm telling you, there is no village in Anambra, no village that does not have this thing I'm telling you about. So you must understand what we are trying to fight for. And this is why some people think that by now, because of the policies of the day, Okowa emergency, also no, we are still talking about Anioma state. This is why people like us started talking of Anioma state. That we need to be zoned to the southeast because they say there's law of influence. There's law of influence. Maybe if we join them, we'll become better. Because we have been here in the so-called South for years. What have we benefited? Nobody can tell me what we, the Delta North, have benefited in the so-called Delta and the South region. Nobody. If I even set money, say, show me one thing that you can point, say that because it will be nothing. If you say that we have Niger Delta, that is why NDDC is bringing solar light. Anambra, Imo State, Abia State, also Niger Delta, they're also getting it. I don't understand. That's why we say that we perish in this country because of lack of knowledge. You don't think? You think Niger Delta is because we are a South state? No. Oil producing states are known to be NDDC, Niger Delta. Go and check. And as I'm talking to you, Imo State, they produce oil. Anambra has oil. Abia State has oil. You heard man saying that even as they cut that part, now today, Imo State has the biggest gas deposit in the entire Nigeria, in the entire Africa, competing in the entire world. So there was a deliberate intention to reduce the landmass of the Igbo. The entire southeast is 29.3 kilometers square. The entire Kogi state is 29.8 kilometers square. Go and verify. Why is this so? So when you hear people say Kogi state is bigger than, but Igbo villages that are in Kogi state are more than 500. More than, I say my own local government is 25. I'm telling you that just my own local government is 25. So you can imagine when I say more than 500 villages, you can know how many local governments you could have cut out from it in Kogi state. When they say, but these are Igbo villages in Kogi, the same thing with Benue. And these are the most poorest region of that state. The poorest region of that state. So it's not just the reduction of the state in order to intentional. It's part of the plan they did to reduce them because they understand the strength of Igwebike. If the Igbos occupy landmass, it also means that they will occupy larger population. And because all these ones are not in the southeast, there's a psychology they have put in them that make them feel like if anything is happening in Enugu now, you know, concern us, all of us, we dey Kogi, make we dey our own. Exactly. I use this as an analogy every time. The time that Akwa Ibom and Cross River were one state called Cross River, and Akwa Ibomites today will defend a Cross River man those days. The time that Bayelsa and River State were in one state called River State, a Bayelsa man will defend a River State man, you know, Sammy, because they were in one state. But immediately they divided, if they do that, say, I believe them, and so River people they do. Like say all of them not be the same before. It is something they are doing to us, we the normal people. There was a time all of us are called a car confused, but now that a car is different, Ndokwa is different. You see them saying, Ndokwa, how can Ndokwa is same? Because now we feel like that's what they call divide and rule. There's a deliberate intention to divide you people, cut you, join other people, so that we make you not to be able to belong. It's a psychology, it's a reverse psychology. You might see it as a state, but there's a tension of doing that. A deliberate intention. Mostly in the places where they can push propaganda, people buy into it. And you see them pushing the propaganda that even you that is in Kogi or you that is in Anioma today, when an Igbo man is not telling you that you're Igbo, they make you believe, the propaganda makes you believe that the man is forcing you to be Igbo. But I keep saying, is it the man that forced you to be Igbo name? Is it the man that forced you to practice Igbo culture? Is it the man that forced you to speak Igbo language? We should be blaming our forefathers. I mean, before coming of the white men, because Onchubo has been existing over 300 years before the Europeans came. Is it the Southeastern Igbo that forced us to be Onchubo? Exactly. They did not force us to be Onchubo, which is an Igbo name. They did not force us to bear Igbo name. If you trace back these 300 years, you find that all the Obis has been called Obi from day one, and all of them have been bearing Igbo name. But here we are. They always want to lie to us. They want to force us. Because that is divide and rule. When they divide you, to sustain that division between you and your brother, they must put a propaganda. It's called divide and rule. I'll show you that book from my shelf. I can't go back now to bring it out to start showing you. But I'll show you in my shelf the divide and rule book. What the British government did to Igbo, to Nigeria. But we are here trying to unite us by bringing historical evidence, using logical reason to re-educate the people, so that you begin to understand that once we are united, it's easier for us to develop. Divided we fall, united we stand. The white men understand this rule. They did it that time and they favored them. And they are still doing it today so that the Fulanis can use it to be penetrating us. They could be killing the Igbos in Kogi State. All we will be shouting is the Kogi, these people. But they are Igbo brothers in Kogi, Igbo brothers in Benue, they are Igbo brothers in Bayelsa, they are Igbo brothers in Akwa Ibom, they are Igbo brothers in Cross River. But if that is happening, because divide and rule, you cannot fight and reach there. And if you do that, some people in Kogi, the galas will not say the Igbo people want to be claiming here. You are not an Igbo man. This land, they will not be telling. That's what those state people are doing. That this land belongs to Pidin. That's what they will tell you. That's what we tell you. But if you look at this map that I showed you, that's the entire Igbo land. But because of states, some people were caught and joined you to make up the land. That does not mean that you own the land. Some people are caught to make up this land. If they leave it, that is the Igbo nation you see so. But there was a deliberate intention to divide them, to be able to rule them, to be able to hold them and govern them. Because they know that the Igbos can resist anything that is not justice, equity, and fairness. But for just injustice and unfairness to exist in the south, in the southern Nigeria, and mostly the southeast, they need to divide them. And that is why even the discrimination happening in Ebonyi State between Anambra is still happening. We cannot lie about it. We cannot lie about it. If the time that all of them were in the so-called Anambra, there was a time Ebonyi and the Anambra and Enugu were in one state, Anambra. Then they don't see that as discrimination, they see it as injacking. But now the injacking has moved, the banter has moved from banter to now discrimination. Exactly. Just like what we are telling people that are criticizing us now, there's a point of banter. Once the banter you sustain it over a period of time, it will, even you that is saying it will not know. You think I just banter. No, it's no more just. You now say I hate. You are not more saying I'm cracking joke. It's just a joke. You now be saying I hate because automatically what you say, you are becoming it. You are faking it to fake it to make it. You are saying it with the joke, but now it are becoming serious because over the time you start living that thing that you are confessing. You start living it. You now turn from banter, it becomes discrimination, it becomes hate. You will now be thinking you are still bantering because you don't want people to see you as a bad person. No, you are no more bantering us now. You are no more bantering the people. You are now living in hate. And that is it. But that does not mean that all of them are not Igbo. But the government like it because it is for their own favor. That is why people like Omaya will make the comment he make against the Southeast. That's why Soludo can make the comment he's making. Because the government, they will like it. The leaders want to take advantage of it to take action. But if all of us unite, remove the state boundary, remove the village. I'm surprised I will ask somebody, where are you from? I don't already know CBBC. Imo State is not where you're from. Onyeka Igbo, Abum Chukwuemeka from Onchubo. I must first tell you my village before I tell you my state. And if I want to tell you, I even tell you my village. It is when you don't know where my village is, I will not tell you it's in Delta State. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. So your state, my state is not my origin. It's not my identification. That state data could change tomorrow. But you can't change my village name no matter what. Onchubo will remain Onchubo, no, call them con sunshine. You can even change them of my local government. You can change them up because those things are political. You can change them of my country. Tomorrow they could call that region another thing. It become a country on its own. But my village remain my village. That is why, who am I? I will first of all tell you my name and my village because those ones are permanent. That's who I am. It is when you are now asking which area it is, I will now start telling you it's in so state so that I'll bring you closer to a landmark that will make you know where I am located. Until we be able to remove these things, this government official will start taking advantage. And imagine say it start trending that if you ask any Igbo man, he will not first say I'm from this state. Because that is why you see it, you have data Igbo. No, nothing like data Igbo. So why data Igbo? I'm an Igbo man, simple. Where are you from? I'm from Onchubo. I don't know the village where it is. Okay, Onchubo is in Delta State. That's how it's supposed to be. And until we start trending it, whether on social media, in real life, this government will know. It's supposed to be a revolution, something that's supposed to, some people, some of you that are watching me, this is something you're supposed to start practicing. If that's who you are, don't tell people I'm an Anambra. What is Anambra? Anambra can change name tomorrow. So if tomorrow they change name of the state, what will not be saying Anambra money? You will not be saying it, you will not be talking another thing. But where are you from? I'm from Nnewi. Onye ki babu money Igbo from Nnewi. Ebe ka Nnewi di, he now tell the person say he's in Anambra. Onye ki abu money Igbo from where abu Ngwa. Ebe ka Ngwa di, I don't know where Ngwa is. You now tell the person he's in so place, in so location. Until we start trending it, that is when these people will take us serious. Or else they will keep dividing us more and more. I'm out of here, Joe.